Hi, this is Tim at lovechangegrow.com. It is Sunday, April 23rd, 2023, and this week's post is about fear. And I just wanted to make a quick little note that the reason I did this post on fear is, on one hand, it's a huge subject. You could spend lifetimes studying it and looking at it and figuring it out. And even though the post is relatively short, I think it's timely in that folks are becoming more aware of there are a ton of challenges that are seemingly coming at us and that we are figuring out we need to take a look at and deal with. And so, fear can be a freaky thing. A lot of people do tend to get a little anxious, paranoid, and just kind of lose their wits. And so this post is just about let's figure out, kind of take an approach to what is fear, how does it work, how can we learn to deal with it, and fear is this sort of nebulous thing a lot of people think about and feel like, oh God, I'm in fear all the time or whatever. And it doesn't have to be that way. There's a pretty straightforward and I think doable, simple way to approach this. But it takes a bit of mindfulness, a bit of learning to breathe. I put in a couple links at the bottom, which I think may help explain and maybe get into some other kind of approaches to how to deal with fear. In general, I think that fear is a cue for us to wake up and kind of look at, what is it? Why is it happening? How is it happening? When does it happen? Where does it happen? And by sort of doing a dive into breaking things up into asking the usual questions of what, when, where, why, and how, and whom, it becomes manageable to figure things out and to be able to work with that. I think a large part of how we deal with fear is a matter of perspective, and we are the ones that determine our perspective. Even though we are getting basically inundated or blasted with all kinds of fear things, if you take a look at it, I think a lot of that is what is happening. Unless if we're not aware that that's happening, we can sort of be overwhelmed. So I don't want folks to be overwhelmed. I think it's completely doable and workable, but we got to have some integrity, some honesty, and just, hey, let's look at this and do a little bit of studying, develop a few breathing skills, kind of there's some mental approaches to it, and we can see our way through that. So there you go. Have a great week. I think a lot of things are happening, but keep your wits about you. Get centered in your heart. Be centered in who you are. Don't pay attention to all the distractions and stuff, because that's just a whirlwind. So again, fear is a big part of it, but fear is certainly can be managed. All right, thanks. Love you guys.